Okay, so good evening, everyone. Yeah, so our session for today is going to be mostly around questions and answers based on our last class. So in the last class, what we did was building a very simple application just within a few minutes, right? And how we did that was we started by creating the SharePoint lists, creating all the columns that we need, title, which comes by default. We created first name, last name, date of birth, age, address, gender, marital status, and of course, you could as well add other any other column as applicable, right? And then from there, we just simply went to this option of integrates, went to PowerApps, and then we told it to create an app, give our app a name, and we clicked on create. And by doing that, it automatically generated an app for us, which is what we have here. And from here, this is our Power App Studio, where you can, make changes, you can edit your app, do all of the things that you want to do. But what we have here is the app that was automatically generated, which by default comes with these three screens. And with this app, there are a couple of things you can do. You can add a new record. You want to add somebody's record here. You can select a particular one and view the details. You can edit it. You can delete it if you want to, right? So those are the different features. So I will just start by trying this add. So I'll say Miss in do. I can put the months, the year. Let's say she was born in 2001. And then that should be like 21 or 20, right? I can put the address, CB Street, Lagos, right? I can select the gender, I can select the marital status, and then click on that option. I can see that this automatically submits to my list. If I go back to my list now and I refresh, I should see that record. So this is the record I just entered, and I can see all the information that I entered here. So our SharePoint list is more like our database, like our backend, where all the information we are seeing on the app is being stored, and we can also view those information, from here. So if I go back here now, I can edit the information by selecting this. Let's say I want to change the let's say the name, let's say from Jane to Janet, and I save. It should go and update that record. As you can see here, if I go back here as well, I should have my record updated. Let me just refresh this page. So you can see that this has also updated that particular record here. And I can go here too and delete. If I delete that record as well, from here, the record is deleted, right? So all of that in this we are doing right from our app. So users don't need to necessarily come to this SharePoint list. They can just go to this app, do all of that and submit. So you can also refresh data, you can sort it and search for a particular record and all of that. We'll get into how we can, modify this much better later on. So that is basically what we did in the last class. So I don't know if anybody has any questions around this. I think it's pretty straightforward. Or if you have any questions, please let me know now before we proceed. Okay, so I'll take that silence as a no. So I want to believe this is
I
pretty
have one
straightforward.
question.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, the app, I understood everything, but I was thinking, if I want to share the app, how do I get to do that? And this app is it just for only the employees in the organization?
Yes. So,
Okay.
like I mentioned, I think I mentioned that in some of our previous classes. So the Microsoft 365 itself, right, is meant for, it's kind of confined to be accessed by people on that tenant. So a particular organization can buy their Office 365 and everybody, they put all their users within that, they call it tenants, Office 365 tenants. So you can
Mm.
add more users, you can add as much users, and you also maybe purchase licenses for all of them. So if you have 1,000 staff, you want to purchase up to like 1,000 licenses for each of them, right? And then you have all of them there. Now, if you want to share the app, you can share the app within people, with people within that tenants, right? So which means if I have 1,000 people, I can share the app with all of those 1,000 people, and they can all have access to it. So an app you built with Power Apps is not something that is accessible externally per se. Unlike, unlike your Android apps that you can download from Play Store and all of that, where anybody can just download the app and use it. But when you build an app with Power Apps, it's only accessible to people within that organization. Though I think there's a way you can share it externally, but it's not external per se. The people also have to have an Office 365 tenants
Okay.
like that. You understand? So, but majorly is meant for internal usage. You understand?
Yes.
So that's the. But if you want to share it, so if you come back to your Power Apps, you can just go to make.powerapps.com. Let me type that, make.powerapps.com. Right? From here now, I can see all my apps that I have in my environment. If I go to apps, right? So this is the only app I have currently within my environment. And I can go here and you can see that once I click on this ellipsis, I have different options. Play, share, export, edit. So if I want to edit, I can click here. If I want to play it. So there is a share option here as well. So with this now, I can share the app with other users, right? If I
Okay.
have a particular person within my organization that so let me search for a name that I have here now. So you can see I can select this person and I'll just click on share. So I can check this option if I want to send them an email to notify them that I've shared an app with them, or I can uncheck it if I don't need that email, right? Then there's an option here to also make the person a co-owner. So checking this option of making the person a co-owner means the person will
Mm.
be able to also edit this app, right? So let's say maybe the person can also develop an app, maybe somebody in your team, and you want the person to also be able to make changes on the app. So you can make the person a co-owner so that both of you can, be working on it while you do some things. The person can also make some other changes. That's what this is for, right? But if you don't want that, you won't check this co-owner. So which means they can only use the app. They won't be able to make changes to it. So there is an option here that you can also search for. It's called everyone. So if you search for everyone, so you can see now everyone within this particular domain, because this is the name of our domain. So once I select everyone, it means any user that is on this tenant will have access to it. So let's say it's an app that is meant to be used by everybody in the organization. Once I select everyone will have access to it, whether existing or new user. So even if I create a new user tomorrow, the person will automatically have access to that app, and I can just click on share. Once I click on share, anybody that logs in will be able to see the app and they can use it. I hope
Okay.
that answers your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, so in the absence of any other questions, so for maybe in our next session, I'll also continue with this, making further changes, how we can customize this further and all of that, maybe adding some other additional features to what we have here, right? Now, I think the next thing we have on our agenda for today is one of us who is a part of this class, and he has within the last few 2-3 weeks ago or thereabouts, he has also been learning the how to use the Power Platform, building apps, and he was able to come up with an app. So I would like him to do a demo for us so that we can see, and it's probably inspire us, so we see that how easy this is to use, the tool is to use, right? So I'll hand over to we have Steven on the line. Are you ready for us, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you. So please go ahead and share your screen and just walk us through what you have for us.
All right. I hope you can all see my screen.
Yes, we can, sir.
It's a response, and I know you are hearing me. So,
Yes, yes.
This is the app I came up with, a church attendance app. The inspiration came from last week. I went to a church, and I realized they were taking attendance and they were doing it manually. They were just taking attendance and putting it on an Excel sheet, My idea came to me that why don't we just come up with an app that helps take attendance, for the church rather than just typing it on Excel. So that was how the whole idea came, and I spoke to our boss, our teacher, Mr. Tunde. He was like, "Wow, it's your first project." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he encouraged me to go ahead with it. So this is the app, okay? We have different screens. We have the home screen, which you are seeing right now. We have the new members screen. This is a success screen that shows you that, okay, the new member has been successfully added. This is a sign-in screen. Okay? This is to show the members detail. This is to show members detail, but there are two different that I will explain as we go on. This is the dashboard, and this is members attendance. So when the member is taking attendance, this screen pops up. All right, so let me just run the app. So this is the app. Now, this register button helps to register a new member. Let's say the person is just coming to the church for the first time. So we fill the form. Let's say Charles. Last name Frank. Address. Let's say 123 Banana Island. Phone number.
Yes, you need to connect me with this Charles Frank. I'm sure he must be a very rich man to be living in Banana Island.
I tell you, the very rich guy. So that's the phone number, email. All right, so when the form is filled, you click this icon, okay, and it gives us this screen. A new member successfully added. New member successfully added. So now we go back to we click the back button for us to register somebody new. We cannot register another person again, but we go back to the home screen. Now, after we've done that, Now, this other button is for signing, okay? So this is for existing users. So if you type a number that does not exist, due to this error, this number is not registered, kindly register. Why? Because this is not my database. Also, if you try to use alphabet, you see what's happening on the screen? That's what's happening on the screen. I'm trying to use alphabet. Nothing is happening.
It's automatically canceling it back.
I use a number. Okay. I have some. I can remember some of the numbers I used.
I think you can even confirm from the record though.
Okay, this number 2. Okay, let me go to my SharePoint. Okay, let me pick a number. All right. So when I pick now, notice something. When the input text, sorry, the text input is empty, you see that the button shows this gray color, right? So it means that you can't even submit when the text input is actually blank. Okay, so let me copy this number. Now this number exists in the database. Okay, when I click it, it brings out the details of the person. John Doe in the last street at Wonder Lagos. This is the number John Doe 007. Man, this guy likes James Bond at hotmail.com. Okay, you can see when I click this, tells us members attendance successfully taken. Okay, so we can go back and see. Once you rest on that person, then we can also continue. Now, this is, let's go to the SharePoint. Now, this is the attendance we just took now. Can you see it? John Doe. We can see the time it was taken. 9:05. So this is the time it was taken. Right. Now, this icon you see here is for the admin dashboard. Here, you can actually see everyone who has taken attendance today. Okay, so you see that everybody has taken attendance. This is 28, that's today. Now, I can actually search. Now, if I want to search for Ruth, now it gives me Ruth. Okay, so I can search for individual members. Yes, if I want to search, okay, I can also search for, I can also use the last name too. If I put Ruth, it gives me the same thing. If I think I have okay. Okay, so in terms of search, yes, and you can also search by date. Fortunately, I had to clear my database, so you can't see previous days. But if I choose 24th, it brings no record. Okay? If I choose 24th, it brings no record because there's no record like that in the database. Same goes to 25th. Okay, but when I go back to today's date, it gives us this. Right. So when I clear this again, it gives us the whole details. Now then I cannot actually, the admin can actually check and confirm the person's data or yes, details and that's it. So this is just the simple app. Still working on it to add more features to it. Yeah, still working on it. But for now, this is what I'm able to do so far. And it has been an amazing experience. I've gotten to learn so much. I'm able to learn so much. Okay, and I would just want to encourage others who are also in this class also take time to learn and watch videos and learn. Right, so I'm super encouraged and I'm looking forward to do more, like do more with this. You know. Looking forward to the next project when I'm done with this. All right. So thank you, Mr. Chinze. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. This is very, very impressive. All right. Like I'm like super happy, at least to say that we have somebody in the class who is, making progress. It's an encouragement to me as well, right? So at least know that uh we are not just going for the class and nobody is participating or nobody is making any progress. So to have somebody in the class who is able to come up with something like this is, very, very impressive. And within even the short period of time, I know you started this just less than a week, just
Yes,
within
sir.
a few
Never
days. And yeah, exactly. So and see what you've been able to come up with, which is, quite impressive. I really, really appreciate that. And thanks for your effort as well. All right. So I think the rest of the people in the class, I don't know if you have any questions for him regarding this app or maybe his experience and all that.
Steven, you're an inspiration. I am going to do my app.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing it. I look forward to seeing it.
I am going to work on my app right now.
Look forward to seeing your app.
You've taken me to Cloud9. So yeah, I'm going to work on my app. Well done, Steven. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. But wait, let me
I
ask
know.
you this. The search stuff. Yeah, how did you go about getting the search on the
Okay.
app?
All right. Do I still need to share my screen again?
Yes.
Yes, we should.
All right. So for the search, yeah, this is so. Firstly, I started a text input. Okay, a text
Okay.
input. Yeah. Then also the date and time picker, the date picker also. You can see them there. And when you go to the form, you can see. Can you see what's written there? Can you see this?
Okay. Yes.
This is the item property of the form. On the item property on the form, we are telling you to filter. Okay, you can see the filter, right? We are saying
Yes.
filter attendance list. So attendance list is a list I have on my SharePoint. So and we are telling you to start with first name. Okay, in the search bar. Now this search bar is the name of this. The search bar. Let me reduce this a bit. Now the search bar is what I named this text input.
Okay.
And we're putting dot text because the data we are expecting in this text input is a text. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. And we are also saying and also start with last name. So the reason why we're adding this start with last name so that you can use any of the names to search. For instance, if I know you by your last name, okay, I should be able to use it to search for you. Do you understand? Because if you leave it by first name and I only know your last name, then I'll be able to search for you. But so in order to make it easy, we decided that I decided that we're going to put the first name and the last name. Okay, so you see that they're the same. Then we now also said that you should also search according to date. Okay, so because I realized that if I should put your first name and your last name or your last name, it will give your name and for there'll be a repetition because if you have signed in for many previous days, bring everything out. You understand? But with the date picker, it will help us choose a specific day we want to know. Maybe I want to know if you came last week or if you came this week. Okay, so rather than me getting a whole lot of data about you, this will help me give me the exact date I want. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
do.
if
Thank
you get
you.
you're okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Any other question?
Okay, thank you. Does any other person have any other questions for him? Okay. In the absence of any other question, I believe this is still work in progress,
Yes, sir.
right? Yeah. So I'm sure maybe the next time we are going to meet, are going to show us more of what you've been able to, achieve with the app, and all of us can, also see as we are making progress, and hopefully that will also encourage a lot of us as well. So thank you so much
Thank you for
coming and showing us this. This is really, 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 really impressive. So I think with this we can call it a day for today, I guess, if there are no any other questions. So thank you all for joining today. So I think we should also expect videos for some of the next classes in the next few days. And we'll also have our Q&A session where we'll also discuss further about them. All right, so thank you all for today, and thanks for coming. Do have a wonderful night's rest, and bye for
Thank you.
now.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.